What is the program name? Program name is AWS Solution Architect Associate. Okay, as the name is AWS. So what is AWS? AWS is nothing but it is the cloud provider. AWS is what? It is a cloud provider. But before starting with the cloud provider, what we need to do, we need to understand some basic fundamentals that is related to the cloud. Okay, so just confirm me from all of the participants, any participants will aware on this concept, fundamental concept of cloud computing. You guys aware with the cloud fundamentals, that is cloud deployment models, cloud service models, these things? Anyone?
Yes, ma'am.
No.
Yeah. So, okay. So let me ask question. What is cloud computing? Can anyone answer? What is exactly the cloud computing is? Yeah, anyone can answer.
All right. As per my understanding, cloud computing is all about providing the services on cloud. So we don't
Yeah.
have to install the software or the services right on a local drive. So we can fetch, we can avail the services provided by the service providers from the cloud
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Right. That is correct. Absolutely correct. Very good. So that is about the cloud computing. But tell me, what was the scenario before the cloud computing? Why the cloud computing is necessary? What will be the scenario before that?
Instead of buying servers or applications, we can rent the service.
On-demand availability of the resource computers.
Like before cloud computing, all the organizations use the traditional methods, like used to buy systems to store and manage the data application, and they used to buy or use other resources.
Yes, correct.
Yes, right. Yes, right. Yes, right. Data we can access anywhere.
That we can access. Please repeat.
Anywhere.
Anywhere. Okay. Correct. So what was the situation before the cloud computing? We can say that, let us suppose if any organization is deploying some applications, developing some applications, and they want to store that application. So which approach they follow? They can buy the servers, right? And by servers, they can maintain the servers, data centers, data racks, routers, switches, whatever hardware devices that will be required to maintain application. They can purchase all these resources, all these hardwares. Okay, and they need to maintain all these hardwares, and also they need to hire some expert persons who will be maintain this kinds of data servers, data centers, or they can give the maintenance support for this data centers. Okay, that is the scenario before the cloud. Okay, so that will be let's say, suppose what will be the drawback is, suppose if I need to increase the data centers or data racks, that is difficult. If I need to increase the servers, that is difficult for our application in case of on-premises setup. So what was the concept before the cloud computing is on-premises setup. Okay. So to remove this on-premises setup, or we can say to reduce the whatever cost cutting, we can say the cloud computing is the solution for the cost saving of the on-premises structure. Okay, that is about the introduction of cloud computing. Now, next thing that we're gonna discuss is what are the different models of the cloud computing. Can anyone tell me what are the different models of the cloud computing? Service models. What are the different service models? If you are aware, guys. If you're not aware, we can discuss. No issue.
Infrastructure as a service, software as a service, and PaaS. PaaS
as a service. Yeah, platform as a service. Yeah. So these are the three service models that we need to talk: as, PaaS, and SaaS. As means infrastructure as a service, PaaS means platform as a service, and third one is a software as a service. But before that, just tell me directly or indirectly, we are using the cloud services. If I take example of a Google Drive, okay. Now tell me from all of the participants, any participants that it will be present in the meeting or webinar that who don't use that Google Drive or OneDrive. Anyone? Everyone using Google Drive, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is that Google Drive? So Google Drive is nothing but it is a cloud service. And why we are using this Google Drive? What is the purpose of using this
Store
Google
files
Drive?
and folders.
To arrange
Storage.
our files and folders, to store our files and folders
And
on this
manage
Google
as
Drive.
well.
Yeah, as well as we can manage this with the help of Google Drive. So this is what, this is a cloud services. So directly and indirectly we are using this cloud services. But now, as we can discuss about the cloud providers, so these are different cloud providers are available in the market. They are providing their own different services for different purpose, to maintain our application, to deploy our application, to develop our application. So that is about the cloud providers. Okay, so we can talk about this in detail. Okay, now tell me, what is infrastructure as a service? First, can anyone, if you are aware, if you're not aware, so we can discuss on this. What is infrastructure as a service exactly?
It means hardware and computing resources.
Yeah, correct. It will provide, the cloud will provide us the hardwares and computing resources. It will provide a complete infrastructure to us, and we are using that infrastructure for our application. So for maintaining our application. Then what is PaaS? Platform as a service. Yes, guys.
Where services will be available where we can install in one click.
Okay, but what is a platform as service? Let me clear. So they can provide a platform for us where we can able to design our application. We are able to develop our application. Okay, that is called as a platform as a service. So platform means complete platform is given. On that platform, we can develop our application, we can deploy our application, we can test our application with on this particular platform, and that platform is given by these cloud providers. Now, third one is SaaS, software as a service. Can anyone?
That's like Salesforce.
Okay, so any
End-to-end
example?
computing.
Okay, correct. What is any example for the SaaS? So they are
MS
Autodesk.
Word.
MS Word. Okay. So they are providing some software to us, cloud providers, and we can use those software for our functionality. Okay, for our need. That is called SaaS. But this is about the normal example. But in case of AWS, if I talk in terms of AWS, what will be the example for this infrastructure as a service? In case of AWS, we have a AWS service that is called EC2 service. Which service? EC2 service. We can discuss in detail what this service all about is. But for now time being, what we need to understand, if I consider the example in terms of AWS, so infrastructure as a service, what will be the example for AWS? That will be EC2 service by AWS. So EC2 is the service that will provide an infrastructure. And if I talk about platform as a service, what will be the example in case of AWS? So in case of AWS, we have a AWS Lambda service. Okay, what is Lambda services? So in the Lambda service, what we can do, they can give a Lambda service to us. So in case of AWS, what we can consider, what is the example of infrastructure as a service is EC2 service by AWS. So we can discuss in detail what is this EC2 service and all. Now, second thing, platform as a service. So in the platform as a service, the AWS can provide the platform like AWS Lambda is the example that will be the service by PaaS. What is AWS Lambda? So AWS Lambda is nothing, but they can provide a code function where we can write our own coding or functions without server, without installing serverless. We can say it provides the serverless coding platform. That is AWS Lambda by AWS. Now, third one is software as a service. So what will be the example of software as a service in terms of AWS? So in terms of AWS, the example is Amazon Workspace. Okay, what is Amazon Workspace? That is again another service that is provided by AWS. So they can provide remote desktops for the employees, and they can work on this remote desktop as a software as a service. So that is example of a software as a service. Now, next thing we need to discuss about the deployment model. Now we discuss about the service model. Now deployment models. What is deployment models? Private cloud, then public cloud, community cloud, and hybrid cloud. Can anyone answer this question? What is private cloud? If you are aware, guys.
It is restricted to our personal use.
Yeah. What is public cloud?
Public is for everyone.
Okay, for everyone. So whatever application that we are deploying inside a public cloud, that will be accessible to everyone. And whatever applications we are deploying inside a private cloud, that will be accessible to only particular organization. Okay. Now, what is hybrid cloud? Anyone?
Mixture of public and private.
Okay, can anyone describe the scenario if you are aware? If you're not, we can discuss. So in at what exactly the circumstance or what use case will be for the hybrid cloud when we have to use this hybrid cloud? Anyone? So private cloud is basically used when we need to keep our application safe, right? Secure. At that time, you can use private cloud. But when you want to give access to others as well for your application, then you can go with the public cloud. But what about the hybrid cloud? Yes.
Suppose open source services available over the web. That time we can go for the hybrid. Means few of the things already publicly available. Those can be utilized in private. So that it comes the hybrid one.
Okay. Any real-time example or any use case? If
For
you
me,
know.
I think the hybrid
Suppose
cloud should be the combination of the public and the private cloud working together.
Yeah, it is together. It is correct. But when exactly, at what circumstances, at what scenario, we can prefer this hybrid cloud? We can use this hybrid cloud.
Like vendor using the application, they can't connect from the internal network, like private cloud. If they want to access the public cloud, they can connect it via public cloud. That's what. Vendor who is not in the network, they can access.
Okay, fine. So let me, yeah, you are correct. But now we discuss one example here for the hybrid cloud. Let's say, suppose if we have a sensitive data, like for the medical related applications, for the financial related applications, if we have a sensitive data, we don't want to share that sensitive data to everybody. Okay, then at that time, we can use the private cloud, right? But also for the same application, we have some non-sensitive data as well. And we need to show that non-sensitive data to everyone. At that time, also we can go with the public cloud. If we want to show the non-sensitive data to everyone, then at that time public cloud. Then sensitive data we need to keep inside a private cloud. When this kind of scenario is there, when both require private and public cloud, at that time, at this kind of application, you can use hybrid cloud. Is it clear for everyone? The scenario?
Yes, clear.
Okay, fine. What is community
Can you provide, excuse me, can you please give us some real-time example for this wherein we are going to implement?
Actually, the applications like medical applications that I talk, or like let's say suppose in the medical applications or hospital related applications, let's say suppose if you want to show the information, the sensitive information, we don't want to show the information like sensitive information, patient details, patient contact, patient whatever the history of a patient. We want to hide this data from the outside world, the patient related data. Okay, the other things we need to show, but only we want to hide this patient details in the hospital related application. At that time, we can use this hybrid cloud. So hybrid cloud, yeah.
All right. So on that account, what information you are going to expose to the public?
Like it is related to the hospital information we need to show. We can show the hospital related information, how many departments are there, ortho department in the hospital is there, or some we can say neurologist is there. So doctor related information we can show, but patient related information.
I would like to give you a real example. We are running basically a cloud for Delhi University for the timetable software.
For
a timetable software.
Okay.
And the one teacher should not see other teachers' timetable.
Yeah, that is also example. Yeah, that is also one of the example. Yeah, correct.
That is what we are using it.
Yeah. So when we have a scenario, when we have to keep some data sensitive, and if you want to keep some data is non-sensitive, if this kind of application is there, then you can choose this hybrid cloud.
Ma'am, is a virtual private network a good example, ma'am?
Yeah, it's also.
Yeah.
You can take an example. I'm just clarify the concept that like hospital. If I consider the hospital application, so we need to hide the patient details, but we need to show the doctor details. At that time, we can go with as this hybrid cloud.
Fine.
Hello. Yeah. Is it clear for everyone till now? Any questions? Any doubts till now?
One thing.
Next, come.
Please
Yes.
correct me here. Please correct me if my understanding is right. Is it a hybrid
Yeah.
cloud example or not? One of my project, basically that is inventory forecasting, what it does for vehicle. Okay. So this particular project in China uses AWS as they do not have rights to use Google Cloud. Okay. Whereas back in UK, they use Google Cloud, which is the main source of data, true source of data, in fact. So when they are communicating each other, okay, with the help of bots, okay, that is where it comes as a hybrid because a mixture of two clouds within that network. Can this be counted as a hybrid?
Can you please repeat? Actually, I'm not getting your voice is breaking in between for me.
Sorry.
Please, can you repeat?
So I'm giving an example.
Okay.
Okay. My project basically working on inventory forecasting of vehicles.
Okay.
Okay. What happens is we have a limitation of not using Google Cloud in China.
Okay.
So we use AWS over there. Okay.
Okay.
Back in UK, we use Google Cloud, that being our true source of data. Okay. So for any applications getting hosted on both the platforms, okay, will this be considered as a hybrid cloud example?
Yeah, that will be. But we need to what we can say, some data in the private cloud. You have that a particular amount of data in the private cloud, sensitive information, which you don't want to share with anybody outside your organization, or we can say outside the team.
That's right, correct.
Yeah, so that will be the hybrid cloud then.
Oh.
Yeah. So next is community cloud. Can anyone aware with this community cloud?
Can we say Facebook or LinkedIn as an example of it?
Hosted.
It's like GitHub.
Community cloud. Yes or no? Aware or not aware?
Yes. So what about the blogs that are being hosted? Could those be considered as community clouds because they are addressing a certain amount of or certain number of public bases or user bases, a certain community maybe, or maybe the applications that are hosted on like GitHub.
Yeah, correct. Community cloud is nothing but, let's say, suppose if I take example, there are 2 and 3 organizations are working on same project, right? If they are working on same project, they need to keep their application inside the community cloud. At that time, if 2 and 3 organizations working on same project, what they can do, they can form one community cloud. The group of organization can found this and they can deploy their application on that community cloud. So community cloud is basically for multiple organizations, those who are working on same project. Is it clear?
Well, I have a question. As you're talking about multiple organizations working on a same project, this is not really clear. Because what I understand that when it comes down to multiple teams or maybe the distributed teams that could be working on different, they all could be working on a single project from different locations. Right. But when it comes, I mean, how come multiple organizations be working on same project?
Yeah, that will be scenario. That let's say suppose if let's say there will be some big projects. Suppose organization A, organization B, organization C. They are working together. So the whole project is deliberated between 3 organizations. So suppose first organization is dealing with the development. First organization is dealing with some backend function, front end functionality. Some organization. So they are distributed among organizations. So that is just community cloud is what, where the multiple organization can found one cloud and they can deploy their application inside that cloud. That is the concept. Either the project is different or project is same, but they are, rather than purchasing a private cloud for each and every organization, what they can do, they can found a community cloud for 2 or 3 organization group of and they can deploy their application, they can maintain their application on this community cloud. That is the concept is.
Any real-time
Got it. Thank you.
example
Yeah.
to understand this better? Any real-time
Yeah. Any real-time example, let's say suppose if I take an example of the ABC organization, or we can say ABC Corporation. So these are two organizations. Okay. What they can do, suppose, so they are collaborated with each other. So we can say either partnership organization is also one of the example. So they can, let's say multiple organizations are partners of each other, right? So they can make a project establishment in the partnership foundation. Okay, they can deploy their applications in the partnership foundation. Let's suppose if there will be the vendor partner is there, client partner is there. So this will be different organizations work as a partners. So what they can do, rather than purchasing a private cloud from the cloud providers, rather using, so they can use the, we have to go with the community cloud. We can create one community cloud, and in that community cloud they can there will be chances the AB Corporation and ABC Corporation will have different applications. Either they have same application, either they have different application. They might be it will be depends on the scenario. Okay, so whatever the applications they have, they can use community cloud for their applications to maintain the applications inside the community cloud. So they are using one common cloud for their application, both the organization. That is community cloud. That is the agenda.
I have a question. So is community cloud preferred more because the cost is less by sharing, or is there some other benefit?
No, that is only sharing benefit is there. Other benefit is not there, because now in such a cases, most of the cases only private and public are used till now. This is not much used by real-time organization implementation, because they are preferring, because this is not the scenario. Every time the organization is having make a form a group, or they can go with the community cloud. So each and every organization, as per their need, either they can use private or public. These two are most used till now, as per the survey.
Well, I have a question on this account. Is it like with community cloud, there is always a chance of security being compromised?
Yeah, security will be. It should be act like a public community cloud. It should be public.
So that's what, as there are cross-functional teams over here, there are cross-organizational teams working on this cloud. So is it really, I'm just wondering, like, can one organization access the information for others or other organization?
Yeah, can access, yes. They can access. So security is not much in that case.
So that is a kind of open source kind of thing.
Yeah, yes. So that's why it is not much preferred. So that's why they are, as per the requirement, the company go with a private or public as per their own requirement of applications. So these two only most of the use clouds, public or private. Yeah, is this thing clear?
Yes, ma'am, you can proceed.
Yes, clear.
Okay, so can we move further?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Fine. So let's move. We discuss these things here. So as I already explained, what will be the example of infrastructure as a service? You can see here Amazon EC2. Okay, EC2 service will be the infrastructure as a service example. This thing we already discussed here. Now you can, hello, yes, what happened? I'm getting some background noises. Okay, now I'm audible. Usha, hello. Usha, are you there? Okay, fine. So here, let's...
please continue.
Yeah. So here, AWS Elastic Beanstalk. This is another example of a platform as a service. Now, what is this AWS service? Elastic Beanstalk. Okay, Beanstalk. We can say, so in this Elastic Beanstalk, what we can do, we can able to deploy, we can able to design our web applications. Okay, we are able to deploy, design our web application on this platform. This is a service provided by AWS, and this will be considered as an example of platform as a service. They can provide a platform where you can deploy and design your applications, web applications. Okay, and Lambda, as we already discussed, this is a serverless coding, okay, where we can write a code and we can execute those code without the server management. That is another service that is provided as a platform by the AWS. Okay, now next thing.
I have a question, ma'am.
Yes.
For a backend service, which is best cloud service, ma'am?
Which one?
For a backend development.
Backend development.
Yes.
Backend. Oh yeah, backend development is for Lambda. So you can write the function coding inside with the help of Lambda. Lambda will give the authority to write the functions, and it is a serverless computing, and where you can write your own logic, your own codes in the Lambda.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So these things already we discussed here. Now, can anyone tell me, if you're aware with the benefits of the cloud computing? So there are lots of benefits like cost saving. So how we can say the cost will be saved if we use the cloud services?
We are not
Yes.
buying
Yes.
any infrastructure.
No need to manage hardware ourselves. So
Yeah.
that is provided by the cloud
Yes, correct.
provider.
Yes. Now, second is scalable. So what is scalability? So the cloud service provider will give this feature. Due to this feature, it is very popular, scalability. So what is scalability? First, we need to understand. Let's say, suppose if I have an application and what I need to do, I need to give one use case here. So let's directly discussing the use. Okay. So now this is a Ajay, right? So Ajay is running an online shopping portal. Ajay will run the website or web portal that is online shopping. Okay. And Ajay is also, we need to understand this use case and then we can clarify the scalability feature of the cloud service providers. Okay. So what is exactly the scalability is? So here the Ajay is running the online shopping portal and Ajay also purchased the servers. Number of servers are 4 servers. Okay. But what Ajay decides to grow their business, the Ajay will announce that some holiday sales, some Black Friday sales, some events related sales. Okay, on the announce that sales related marketing. So different sales will be there. So when the sale is announced, suddenly the client will be increased to visit on that particular shopping portal. Okay, currently the client count is less to visit the shopping portal. But when sale is announced or some offer is released by the Ajay, so what happens? The number of clients will be increased. And these 4 servers are not capable to handle that particular load. Okay, this 4 server is not capable to handle this load. Okay, so what need to do? What will be the solution? So Ajay is thinking that there will be any solution without purchasing any new server. Can we increase the capacity of server? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. So what will be the solution? That feature is called as scale. We can increase the servers without investing the money with the help of cloud. We can. So that feature is called as scalability feature. Okay. That here we are discussing this one, scalability feature. Now, next feature is flexibility. So what is flexibility? Can anyone explain if you're aware? If you're not aware, we can discuss. Scalability means we can increase the servers, number of servers as per our requirement, as per the load of the increases or as per the traffic is increases, we can easily scale up or scale down the services. Servers, we can say. So that is the feature of scalability. Flexibility, yes, can anyone?
It is indirectly platform independent.
It is indirectly a platform independent. So here, what exactly the flexibility? They can give the flexibility to users. They can choose their own operating system. They can choose their own hardware configurations. That kind of flexibility is given by the cloud providers. So that's why we can call the flexible feature. Now, next feature, reliability. Can anyone answer this? What will be the example of reliability?
So it will be always running.
Always running, yes.
Availability is there.
Availability is there. Okay. Then how we can say it will increase the team collaboration? How the cloud providers will increase the cloud services will increase the team collaborations?
As it mostly encourages cross-functional, organizational teams to collaborate, share the resources over a single space, single console. It definitely encourages collaboration on that account. But then I have a question over here. As you mentioned that scalability, we understand that scalability is all about, adding more number of servers as per our requirement. Yes.
Yeah,
But
you
then
can add or you can remove as well. If no requirement for the that much server, you can also reduce the servers.
Right. So is that how could that be completely free of cost? I guess there will be some cost.
No, not free of cost. It is charging some amount that will be depend.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's what I wanted to clarify because you mentioned that would be free of cost.
No, not free of cost. I didn't mention that free of cost. We can do this. Okay, but definitely if I compare the cost of the on-premises server, like say suppose if you need to buy a complete new hardware server, so that will be definitely the cost is it is very high cost. Okay, we can say. But if I choose the scalability feature of the cloud providers, then it should be definitely the cost is less as compared to on-premises. Is it clear?
I just want to understand one very basic term. I'm not sure. I know it just may sound a little silly. What do you mean by on-premises?
On-premises means let's say we can purchase the data racks, we can purchase the data centers, data servers, we can keep our application routers, whatever require things, we can purchase the networking devices. Okay, that is called on-premises setup. Actual hardware we purchase and actual setup we can make in company itself.
All right. So the understanding is like buying these hardwares physically is on-premises.
That is costly. But if we use the cloud providers hardwares that they can provide to us, that is virtual hardwares, that will be costless as compared to on-premises.
All right. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Any questions? Any doubts till now? Anyone? Is it clear till now for everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes.
fine. So we can move further. Okay, next. Okay, so now we have to discuss some use cases of the cloud computing. So as we discussed, the cloud computing is useful in case of the data store. Suppose if you want to store the data, as we already discussed one example, that is Google Drive, right? This is a cloud service. Now we need to store the application data. We need to make a backup of our application. At that time, we can use this cloud computing services. Although we can use this cloud computing services for the software development as well as for the testing perspective, they also provide some services related to testing as well, where you can able to test your application, where you can able to develop your application. Okay, then it is also useful for web and mobile application. They can give the services that we can host our web applications, mobile applications on the cloud platform. Okay, then big data. Can anyone aware with this big data? The technology big data?
Hadoop.
What is big data?
Hadoop technology.
Yeah, but what exactly it is? It is Hadoop, is correct. But what exactly it is?
Vast amount
of data. So to process that big data, to analytics that big data, we have to use this cloud services as well. So cloud services also give the functionality that you can process, you can analyze the large amount of data and resource with the help of cloud services or cloud resources. Now it is also helpful for disaster recovery. So let's say suppose if suddenly some server is crashed, some data will be crashed. So immediately it will arrange the backup. Okay. Immediately backup is there. So we can recover our data from the disaster. That the different services the different mechanism will be provided by the cloud providers for this, for disaster recovery, but it is used for the recover the data from the disaster. Okay. Now, next that we need to discuss is, now you can see, so there are different cloud providers available in the market like AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, Alibaba Cloud, Salesforce, IBM Cloud, Oracle. Okay, so these are different clouds available in the market. Now you can see this graph. So what you understand from this graph is the 31% of the market share will be captured by AWS. So AWS is the biggest cloud provider and most favorite or 500 plus companies are using this AWS cloud. And they can trust on AWS cloud to deploy their applications, to maintain their applications with the AWS services. And if you see about the Azure, so 25%, what will be the share count is 25%. So as this is Dell, we can say that will be updated, that will be not constant. But if you see in the market position, the AWS is the leader, cloud provider leader nowadays. Okay. So why? Because it will provide the security, high flexibility, availability, and even though it will give the performance impacts, cost saving, all this feature will be most strong feature of AWS as compared to other cloud providers. Okay. Now here, now AWS will provide the services in different domains. Okay, AWS. So we discuss among the all cloud providers, AWS is the leading provider nowadays. Okay, but what kind of services, what kind of domains the AWS can provide services? There will be the computing domain. Then computing domain. Computing domain means where we need to compute something. Okay, like we need to compute the configurations like hardware configurations, networking devices configuration. At that time, we can go with this computing services of AWS. Then if we need to store some data of our application, we need to deal with the database. But at that time, AWS also offer database related services for us like RDS, DynamoDB. These are the services of a database, AWS database related services. Then customer engagement. So for the customer engagement also, the cloud can provide some services like SNS, simple notification service. So what does it means? So simply they can send a mail to the customer for the new launching of the brands, offerings of the brands. So this kinds of notification services, customer engagement services also provided by the cloud provider. That is AWS. Then security services, identity services. So this many services are provided. Then storage, if I want to store my application data, if I want to store some files, if I want to store, let's say, my application WAR files. So that kind of facility all provided by this AWS. We can store the application details or any other details inside the storage services. Then management services is there. Then migration. Migration means we need to migrate or we need to transfer data from one place to another place. That kind of services also there. Then networking services is also there. Networking services like VPC service. That is virtual private cloud service. That is for content delivery services there. So these are different domains where exactly the AWS can provide the services. Other than this, there are many domains like AI, machine learning. Okay, so in all aspects of the industry, all aspects of all over the world, what we can say domain, they can provide the services. Okay, now here, next we need to discuss about the certifications. So what are the different certification of AWS? Okay, so we need to discuss one by one. So very first, you can see there will be the foundational certification. So foundational certification means in the foundational certification, the first certification that is mentioned, that is AWS Cloud Practitioner. Now, can any, if one question come for everyone in like, let's say, is it compulsory to complete the foundational certificate first? And then we can choose the other certificate.
No,
Is it?
no.
Completely not. Completely not. You can choose any certification course. You can go with any kind of certification course as per your job role or as per your interest. Okay, you can choose anyone. So foundational certification. So in the foundational certification, so basically before discussing on this, let me clear one thing for everyone. So this AWS certification will be in 3 levels. How many levels? 3 levels. Level 100, level 200, and level 300. 3 levels of the certification for each aspect, for each domain. You can have a 3 levels. Okay, so the first certification is cloud practitioner. In the cloud practitioner certification is a basic certification, we can say. Anyone can complete this certification, the basics of clouds. Then after that, AWS Solution Architect certification, that is associate certification. So that we are focusing now, that is AWS Solution Architect. Then developer certification, it is for developer. So as per the development interest and developer skill, you choose this developer certification. Then there will be system operations administrator certification is there, that is provided by AWS. Then solution architect professional. Now there will be again one question. Can anyone relate this AWS solution architect associate and AWS solution architect professional? Is it compulsory before before we choose this professionals? We have to complete the associate. Is it compulsion?
It's not
Yes or no?
not compulsion, but before that associate, right? You can't clear that professional one. 100%.
Yes. Yes. So you have to first clear that associate certification, then you have to go with this professional one. Okay, next is DevOps. DevOps, so as we know, the DevOps is also one of the current running industry in the market. So as per the each and everyone suggestion, or we can say the interest, they can also go with the DevOps engineer professional certifications. Then after that, security, specialty certifications is also there. Some AWS. So there are various certifications that will offer by AWS. Then it should be networking certificate inside a specialty, advanced networking certification. Then we can have security specialty certifications, AWS security specialist, machine learning also. They are offering certification for machine learning as well, data analytics as well, and database related specialty as well. So these are all about the AWS certification. Now we need to discuss our actual certification, our course, that is AWS Solution Architect certification. What exactly we need to, if we need to achieve, if we need to clear this certification, what will be the criteria, what will be the syllabus, that we need to discuss now. So let me open this. So is the screen is visible for everyone?
Yep.
So this is our actual certification, that is AWS Certified Solution, where we register for. Okay, for which we register. You all register. So this certification, you can first we discuss about the syllabus. So for this certification, the syllabus will be divided into four domains, we can say. So there will be 65 questions. How many questions for this examination? For this AWS Certified Solution Architect, 65 questions will be there, 130 minutes will be there, and the patterns will be MCQ pattern. Which pattern? MCQ, multiple choice questions or multiple response questions. Okay, so what is my suggestion for everyone? When you have to give this certification, when you are sure about your knowledge, you are confident about your knowledge, then and then you are able to give the certification exam. Until and unless you are not give the certification exam. Because see, once you very sure, very clear about your knowledge, so at that time you can apply for the certification exam and you can proceed with certification exam. That is my recommendation. So the complete syllabus for this whole certification will be divided in 4 domains. Okay. So we can say in that 4 domains, there will be multiple services. There will be different services. Just a minute. Let me open that. Need to show that syllabus breakup here. open. Just a minute. I'll just open this. So see it. This one. Okay. So here. Okay, now you can see. Hello. So who will be able to give this exam? This AWS Solution Architect exam. So the person, or we can say the audience, the associate that at least 1 year of hands-on experience, okay, or at least some conceptual or strong knowledge about this AWS Certified Solution Architect associate, they can give this particular exam. Okay, as I discussed, this content for the whole certification will be divided in 4 domains. You can see it's visible for everyone. Hello, it's visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So here in the
Yes.
first one, yeah, in the first domain, it will be design secure architecture. So the whole syllabus of this particular AWS certification, associate certification, will be divided in 4 domains. The first domain, that will be designing secure architecture, design resilient architectures, design high performing architectures, and design cost optimized architectures. You can see for the domain 1, the score will be 30%. Okay, you can score the questions in the exam. The weightage, this is the weightage of the questions that will become from this domain. The weightage for this domain 1 will be 30%. The weightage for the domain 2 will be 26%. The weightage of the third domain 24%, and the last one is 20%. So in that domains, there will be some services like IAM service. Okay, then we can say single sign-on, how we can provision the entities. This detailed knowledge of each and every services like STS service, what is STS. Okay, then you can see what is Amazon Cognito in the domain. If you see in the domain 1, it should be in the domain 1. There are different services. So Amazon is providing 200 plus services for us. Is it possible to learn this 200 services in 4 days or either in 1 year? No, it's not possible. So
Not possible.
it will be very deep. So what we need to do, we need to focus on the core service as per the exam perspective, the core services, or we can say the services which from which the maximum question can ask in the examination, that we need to focus. Okay, so it is difficult to learn all the services, 200 services in a 4 days, or we can say in either in a year. Okay, so I hope everyone is clear with this syllabus pattern and what will be the exam pattern is and who will appear that exam. Hello? Yeah, fine. If it is clear, so we can start further. Now we have to start with our actual AWS services. Now there are multiple services, core service, but now in this demonstration session, we have to focus on, we have to try to cover on 3 services. The 3 main services. The first is IAM services, that is provided by AWS for the identity and access management. Then second service that we need to cover is EC2 service, that is virtual hardwares, virtual machines, related computing service. This is a computing service. IAM is the identity access management service. And the third one is S3, that is storage service. This 3 service we are trying to complete in this whole session.